Hello everybody, this is Barbie. Okay, I'm back today to get our little book sewn together. I've already sewed one of them together, but I've left the second one to show you how I did it, just to save some time on the video. I'll run through this real quick. This came out of a little book I got anyhow. I thought it'd make good little journaling spots there. Then we'll get this all decorated next video or so. This is the newsprint that's in that kind of canary yellow. I really like it. I use that. This is a little page out of the book, the Reader Digest book, and I just did some gesso on it and blah blah. Anyhow, it's in my stash. That's the map I told you about. And again, the other end of the book out of the Reader's Digest page. And this is the Edith Holden page. And I just put some gesso on it. So, there you go. So that one's done. So let's get this figured out here. Okay. The way I start out is in the very center. And you know, I'm not saying that this is the only way to do it. This is just what I do. I've already got my pages together. I made sure everything kind of fits. And so I start out like this, and then I decide where I want my page here. Whether, you know, if it's a smaller page, I may decide to move it around. But I know that when I put my holes in, I'm going to put it in about 1 inch to 1.5 inches up, and then the one in the center. So I want to make sure that I don't miss these odd-shaped pages. That's the only thing you got to do there. And also, I kind of line up my pages with the top and the bottom. Same thing here. Now this is just one page, but I'm going to adjust it to where I want it so that when I stitch it, it'll make sure I hit the page, in other words. Okay. Here. That one. I'm not talking because I'm thinking. Can't do both, you know how that goes. Okay. And there's the last one. Okay. So now I have my little clippies. I open it up to the middle, holding pressure to make sure, you know, that I keep my pages all in the same spot I put them in. Making sure this is down to the middle here and that there isn't any gap there. And I have my little board here in my awl. So I mean, you don't have to do this, but I'll do it for those that might want to kind of be in the middle here. That's the middle of it. So approximately there, and then I just put pressure on it and kind of twist it. And then again, I just come up from the end here. Now if you were going to put this into a book, you would have a pattern, but since we're not sewing it in, I'm not going to make a pattern. And then this one is the same thing. Just don't want to poke your finger. Okay. I got my needle. And there's the spool. And Rachel said something, and I hadn't even thought about it, but she leaves her thread on the spool, which is a good idea. You don't waste it that way. And if this doesn't come through easy, which it doesn't, that means I need to put a little bit bigger hole in there. Was it? I didn't get it pushed in quite far enough. You shouldn't have to push real hard. See how that goes in? Because it's got a bigger hole here, eye. Well, I lost my string. Okay. And then you can put it either at the top or bottom, it doesn't matter. Well, I gotta hit the hole. And then I go past the center and go down to the end. And looks like I need to poke that a little bit bigger. Okay. Oops. Alrighty. Go. So now flip it over and put it back through the hole. Oops. This is a bit fiddly. Especially that I can't get my head around it. All right. There it is. Okay. Now, this is where you have to be careful about. You gotta get one string on one side of the center and one on the other. And you need to pull it as tight as you can. This is a waxed thread. I'll get it from Amazon. It's waxed thread, I think is what it's called. And then tie your string one time. Now what I do at that point is I go ahead and take these off and get them out of the way. I flip it over and make sure that it is tight, and it is. So once I make sure it's tight, I come back in and tie another knot. And then I cut off and I leave a little bit just in case. I can always cut it off later and get rid of that. Get rid of my needle. Okie dokie. So now it's all together. And what I also like to do too is, especially when you're not attaching this into the book, because this is going to be removable. I'm not going to do it now, but what I like to do is to put just a little bit of glue right along here in the holes, and that way it assures that this string is going to stay put. And then I'm going to take a piece of lace or something and glue it to my spine, because this will be moved inside and out, in and out of my book. Okay. Now, I've never done this before. I've seen it done, but I've not done it. So this is a new one for me too. There's two signatures, and so I'm making two holes, and I'm going to put a piece of string through here, which then I'll be able to slip my signatures in like so. That way they're removable. And that way, if you use all these up or whatever, or you just want to put a new few pages or whatever in there, or you want to put something that's just nothing but journal pages, this can be removed, which I think is something I've been wanting to do for a while. So what I did is I measured in 1/4 of an inch, because I took my pages or my signatures and I looked at it, and I wanted to be able to pull the string through on either end without it being underneath the signature, if that makes sense. So I've got those two in, and I measured it 1/2 inch, because this is 1.5 inches spine. And then I set my crocodile. I'm using the 3/16, I believe it's called. Yeah, 3/16 hole, the bigger hole in my crocodile. And I put that little measuring deal right there at 1/4 of an inch. That way they're all the same. And I put a line here so I could make sure that I got in the same alignment. And this stops me. Let me get it to where you can see and I can see. All right. So let me get it eyeballed first. Okay, I can see the line there, and it stopped me where. Make sure I'm in the center. Just a minute, I can't see it good enough. Need to bring it down a little bit further because I could just barely see the tip of it. Okay. There's the hole. Now, I've got my little grommet around here someplace. There it is. Now, if you don't have one of these crocodiles, then you can, they have little kits that you can use using a hammer and a punch. You just have to look it up. Okay, well, now we've got our little grommets all in. And next thing I guess I'll need to do is to decide what I want to put on the outside here. So, let me get my supplies over here. Still have it all. Those little pieces of fabric all torn and ready to go. Now they're gone missing. I don't know how I can do that. Seems to be an easy thing to do for me. Okay. Maybe it's right here. Well, I guess not, so I guess I'll have to use something else. Crazy. All right. This is what I pulled it off from to begin with. It's an old handkerchief that I had tea dyed. So, get my scissors. Makes me mad. I can't find those things. Let's see. I think I need about that much. I think I'm gonna try it about like that. See if that'll be about right. Yeah, I think I'm going to tear off the end of it. I can always pull it out because I want it to stick out a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm going to let it stick up about 1/4 of an inch. And I'll cut that last one down there once I get it glued in. So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac, I think. I think I'll go ahead and, before I put this down, I'm going to go ahead and rip this other one so I can get it approximately the same size. Not that it has to be. I'm weak. Oh, there you go. Hopefully I'm in screen. Let me make sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to leave about 1/4 of an inch, like I said. And while I'm doing this, it's going to serve two purposes. I can make sure I can get, you know, that this whole spine right here, where the thread is, gets a good gluing, as well as the sides. So I'm going to do one side first. I'm going to eyeball it. Looks about right. Then I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. Okay. Cut that off. Cut this off. I think I'm going to trim that a little bit because it's a little bit more on that side than the other. Probably wished I had enough, but I'm going to do it anyhow. Then I can fray it. There, I think that'll look better. It's only going to fray until it gets to the glue, so but it'll be enough. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay. Alrighty, that's one done. Now let's get the other one done. I think this time I'm going to kind of fold this in half so I'm not flying blind. And that'll give me a better idea of where the half is. There you go. Strings everywhere. Whew. I go in the house and I'm dragging strings. Ooh, bubbling. I think I'm gonna get that off of there. It looks ooey gooey. Alrighty, let's try this. Okay, going down the middle. And then try not to go past where you think the fabric is going to be. All right, about 1/4 of an inch at the top. And I will cut off the bottom. Now that worked better. That little fold down the middle. Now, do the other side. And I'll probably have to come back and put a little bit more glue on the other side. Yeah, I have a little bit more right here. off just a little bit, and I'll fray it later. Okie dokie. So there's our two signatures. So now we need to get some string, and I don't know what kind of string I want to use here. I've got this big thick string I was thinking about using. It might be too thick. I know the end is, let me see how it feels here. It's going to be hard to get through there. I think I can do it. I can cut off the end. Whoops. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. All right. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Take a piece of tape, tape it around there so you can get it through. That'll work. Okay. You know what? I think this is just too big. All right, so I'm gonna use a different one. It's causing me trouble here. Let's try this. Okay. What I want to do is I want to tie my bow down here at the end. So I think I'm going to do it like so. I'll put this through this way first. Make sure I have plenty of string. Tie it right here for right now, and we'll see how that feels. Now I know you can also use, okay, see that's too tight, so what I need to do is put it in first. Yeah, dummy. Everybody's saying, put it in first. That could be a good idea. Yeah, put it in first. Then you can get it tighter. There you go. Like I said, this is the first time I've done this, so I'm learning right along with you. And I may change this out when I can find my other cotton thread that's about the size of this. I don't much like this thread. It's jute. It's kind of stiff. And I may just use some sari silk or something too. I don't know. You'll see it when I finish it up to see which one I decided on. Okay, let me put my other one in. Yep, that's kind of cute. Eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it probably with something right there. That's what I'm thinking. So there's our removable signatures. Now all we got to do is decorate it. I think that looks pretty cute. See how much good stuff we can put in there. It looks like we can put quite a lot, but we also have to think about the other stuff we might want to put in there. So I'm going to be thinking about that, and also I'm going to be thinking about what type of element, if any, I'm going to put on here. Also what we're going to do on the spine here. So let me see. That took us 25 minutes. So I think I'll stop. And that'll give you time to figure out what you're going to do with your book. And I'll get together the rest of my thoughts on this, and we'll start in on doing some embellishments because we've got our book basically together. We just need to do some embellishing, which is the fun part. Okay, guess I'll close this for right now. So until next time, this is Barbie. Hope you're having a fun day and crafting right along with me, and we'll see you next time for part 3. Bye 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 bye. Have a beautiful day.